Today we unpack the recent and highly controversial case of former New York Congressman George Santos, whose prison sentence was commuted by President Donald Trump in October 2025. This story combines elements of political drama, legal controversies, and questions about justice and accountability, making it a critical subject for understanding current U.S. political and judicial dynamics. Background: who is George Santos? George Santos is a former Republican congressman from New York who gained notoriety after pleading guilty to serious crimes including wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. He was sentenced to 7 years in federal prison for stealing the identities of 11 people, some of them family members. Prior to his legal troubles, Santos was also embroiled in a scandal about the falsehoods in his political campaign and personal background, which deeply undermined public trust. The sentence and commutation in mid-2025, Santos was sentenced to more than 7 years in federal prison. However, after serving less than 3 months, President Donald Trump commuted Santos's sentence. Trump justified this move by claiming that Santos had been horribly mistreated during his incarceration, including long periods of solitary confinement. Beyond releasing Santos from prison immediately, the commutation also waived his obligation to pay about $374,000 in restitution to his victims, a point that has drawn significant public outrage. Public and political reactions. Commutation sparked sharp responses across the political spectrum. Many local politicians and Santos's former constituents have expressed frustration and condemnation. New York City mayoral candidates criticized the decision, highlighting the apparent injustice it represents for people who were defrauded and misled. Some Republican colleagues of Santos were also vocal, emphasizing that Santos had shown little remorse and that less than 3 months served in prison does not fulfill the demands of justice. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson defended Trump's decision by invoking themes of redemption and second chances, illustrating a divisive debate over clemency and justice in American politics. Santos's own statements and future plans. In his first public interviews after release, Santos dismissed critics as engaging in pearl-clutching and reiterated that he intends to focus on the future. He claimed repentance and humility from his experience in prison and expressed interests in prison reform and building bridges rather than barriers. Santos stated he is committed to paying any restitution legally required, despite the commutation waiving this obligation, suggesting some acknowledgement of responsibility on his part. Santos also criticized the people who ran the prison where he was held, describing degrading and dehumanizing treatment, and positioned himself as an advocate for dignity and humanity in the justice system.